Daniel and Clara were celebrating his new promotion, attempting to uphold a facade of contentment. Daniel raised a toast to Clara for her unflinching support over the years. This seemingly innocuous praise was the catalyst. Clara smiled, but her voice was tight. Unflinching, yes. Uncomplaining, perhaps not. The air was immediately filled with unspoken resentment. 5 years ago, Clara deferred a major career opportunity to move for Daniel's job. At the time, they had a tacit agreement that the sacrifice would be temporary and later reciprocated. Daniel's salary, though steady, was insufficient to match the lifestyle Clara saw in her corporate sphere. Clara began to engage in constant comparison, seeing Daniel's honest work as a symbol of failure rather than dedication. Now, 5 years later, the temporary nature of the compromise had proved to be irrevocable, fueling Clara's mounting frustration. Clara's first salvo. She asked, "If I hadn't made that sacrifice, where do you think my career trajectory would be now?" Daniel defended himself. He never compelled her, arguing the decision had been made mutually and freely. Clara's counter. She argued that mutual decisions are impossible when one party holds the dominant leverage, his established career. "Had we prioritized my career that year," Clara stated, "our financial reality would look entirely different." Daniel responded defensively, "You have a tendency toward needless recrimination, Clara." The focus of the argument shifted from regret to culpability, the painful search for who was truly at fault. "Notwithstanding my commitment to this family," Clara continued, "the silence around my professional stagnation has been suffocating." Daniel, hurt but quiet, agreed to look for a second job, accepting the inescapable reality of his financial role. Daniel took on 2 jobs, driving all day and working at a restaurant all night, driven purely by the need to obviate Clara's disappointment. He was seldom home, sacrificing not only his rest, but the precious shared moments that had sustained their marriage. One night, Daniel collapsed, his body finally rebelling against the extreme exhaustion required to meet an unattainable benchmark. At the hospital, the doctor's words were sharp and unambiguous. Daniel was severely exhausted and needed immediate rest. Clara sat by his bedside, the polished facade of her expectations crumbling into dust, seeing his paleness and fragility. She looked at his worn shoes, the dust on his shirt, and understood the profound sacrifice she had routinely dismissed. Had she not imposed her financial metrics, Daniel would have had his health and their shared time, the true assets of their life. Her tears were not for his weakness, but for her own material myopia, her inability to see value beyond a paycheck. Daniel opened his eyes and whispered, "I just wanted to make you proud." His sincerity shattered Clara's heart, erasing all her culpability. She realized Daniel had already given her something more valuable than any diamond ring: unwavering peace and unconditional respect. Since that day, Clara stopped the corrosive comparison and focused on the intrinsic value Daniel brought to their home. She saw his work not as a low salary, but as an unflinching commitment to supporting his family, including his aging parents. Furthermore, she began to actively show her appreciation for his support, realizing she had never thanked him for his daily efforts. The financial gap remained, but the emotional gulf had been closed by a mutual understanding of priority. Daniel was not a quiet failure. He was her quiet storm, the calm, patient man who worked tirelessly and gave her his whole self. The marriage was rebuilt on a new, fully articulated agreement, that true prosperity is defined by love and support, not monetary accumulation.